see this going one of two ways. One being either this guy just kills us, like the Craigslist killer, or we pull up and he's just really, really cool and he gives us some info that we don't know about the board.
He might just pull a Louisville Slugger out of his VW bus and just beat us over the head with it.
I hope not.
I mean, where we are right now is somewhere I've never been.
I won't lie, in this world, man, you need school. What you sow is what you reap. The price of even making it, you know it's not cheap. Never mind the lights, you can sacrifice sleep. Put your best out there, see results in a week. Preach. I don't think they know.
Okay, what's up, everyone? Today we have a couple cool things going on, I would say. But here we are, we're at Lowe's near our house. It's about maybe 20 minutes max from where we live. Lowe's. Usually we go to Home Depot, but what we came today to get is some different flavors of carpeting to display various items on for selling on eBay, Instagram, mainly eBay. But I started seeing mostly vintage sellers of like vintage shirts and t-shirts and clothing have displayed this stuff on like a turf looking backdrop, and I also started seeing it on eBay, and I think it looks really good. So we're gonna go in here, see what kind of backdrops they have, as in like carpeting, and we're gonna try and get a couple of slivers. So let's see. And I know most people probably, if you're watching it, came for the second half of the video that we're gonna do, which is going to be picking up a vintage Spectrum surfboard later tonight. So that will be in this video. Stay tuned. I'm really excited about it. So this is the section I was interested in. Let's see if they have what I was looking for though. Like, what's the least amount you can buy?
1 foot.
So it would be 1 foot by
12 feet. And then we have a 15-foot one too. So it'd be 1 by 15 and doing that.
Oh man, this is like Willy Wonka in here.
Only worse, Willy Wonka was more organized. I give out an extra 6 inches for free. Do you want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice, right?
Oh yeah, this thing, these are I did a whole basement in this one time for a guy. Turned it into a whole theme basement.
Alright, so we got the 2 feet by 6 of the green turf. And we were going to get red, but we decided to just start with this because it looks really good. Score. And she got some tile to display different glass.
I got 2 slabs of tile for my posts for like products and stuff like that, because it just looks a lot more neat if you post on a nice clean tile.
Like glasses and jewelry and stuff, so much nicer. Even hat,
yeah, like
even
just
a hat.
Blank space, really.
Even like a t-shirt laid on here that looks good.
Yeah, on the fake grass, everything looks really, really nice and it pops. Because like I was posting things on our couch, but I was cropping it so that you couldn't really tell it was our couch. And because our couch is like bright orange, well, it's a chair, not a couch, but I saw quite a few things on there. Because I think when people are scrolling through, it really pops when it's on a solid color or a solid backdrop rather than like in the midst of like your house. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're on a mission now to pick up a piece of what I would call surfing history. This is by Craigslist and such apps, maybe Facebook Marketplace is a good equivalent, are so awesome, and why I love them so much, because you can find items that you'd never find at a flea market, and for decent prices too. So I found last night, I was looking on Craigslist for vintage skateboards first, then I got tired of that because I wasn't coming up with anything. Started searching for vintage surfboards, and I saw a post that had a board that I didn't really want, wasn't that interested in, but it was in good shape, it was vintage. And I started just clicking over, and a Spectrum surfboard popped up on the photo album. So they're selling the first board, which I'm not really even sure what the company was, and the second board, which is a Spectrum surfboard. And all of a sudden I wanted it because Spectrum Surfboards is a company founded out of Florida, in the Atlantic and Melbourne, Florida, by a guy named Craig Bobbitt. And actually in the early 2000s, my dad owned half of the surf shop. He bought in with Craig, and I got to learn a lot about the history of the company. And I'll explain a lot more later on because I know the audio is not great in here, but that's basically the gist of it. It's a very, very collectible surfboard in good condition for a good price, a really good price actually, and we're going to get it right now. So maybe he knows more about it. If not, we're going to see what other kind of stuff he has, if anything else good for sale, and we're definitely getting the one board. So on it, we're here on 295 North. All right, we're almost to the place. How do you see this going?
I see this going one of two ways. One being either this guy just kills us, like the Craigslist killer, or we pull up and he's just really, really cool and he gives us some info that we don't know about the board.
He might just pull a Louisville Slugger out of his VW bus and just beat us over the head with it.
I hope not.
I mean, where we are right now is somewhere I've never been. In the midst of night, right?
I don't know where we're at.
Oh man, he said just pull down the driveway. I'll be in the garage. That's what he said.
You're lying.
Okay, I'm lying.
I mean, I guess that
your destination is on the left.
Oh, is this it right here? Where's this legendary dude at?
I don't know if we're in the right spot.
Maybe.
He said pull into the garage.
Doesn't that look like the house? Or no? No, it does not look anything like it. Alright, so now we're getting just totally confused because the house on Google looks exactly opposite of what this house looks like that we're in front of. So,
Isn't that house yellow though?
it's on that side of the street, I think. Should I just turn around real quick? Like go up and turn around?
Yeah, here, I'll grab that.
I mean, there's not many people around here to say much of us turning around.
Alright, I see the house. We were gonna turn around, but we didn't have to because
Sammie spotted his epic boss. I'm just gonna back into the driveway.
Alright.
How you doing?
I'm Sammie.
How you doing?
There he is.
Nice to meet you.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Wow. This is a nice garage.
What's going on? You got a lot of collections, huh?
Yeah. Been at it a long time, so
Why are you selling the Dreamer?
take a guess. Too many.
Too many.
Not enough.
If you ask my wife, she'd say too many.
Too many.
Yeah.
No way. This is so nice, though, dude. So, do you know anything about the board?
Actually, I got it with another board.
Just out of luck?
Yeah,
What was the other board?
that one.
This one on top?
Yeah.
Is it a Spectrum as well?
No, that's a Hanson.
Okay.
But I know about Spectrum. I mean, they're all out of Florida.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is crazy. My dad was part owners at one time of this store.
Okay.
Not the manufacturing company,
Yeah.
but Craig Bobbitt is the one who started the company.
Okay.
He's not the one who shaped this board, but basically they had a factory in Melbourne, Florida,
Yep.
and in 2002 it burnt down.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And that's basically the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I mean, I've been surfing since '85,
yeah,
and I know. Yeah, that was the whole
Yeah.
East Coast was Spectrum.
yeah.
Who else was around? There were a couple shops out of Carolina. WRV was big.
All this.
Yeah.
Yeah, WRV still
Yeah,
around.
yeah. And then locally here was just
Heritage and Grogs and everybody. So
I mean, this is in mint condition pretty much.
it is. It's in
For
good
the
shape.
age
Yeah,
of it.
it's thick as all could be.
So the
you know,
price was $175.
Yeah, I do 150. On
Okay.
It, so I mean,
I got 160.
I'll give you
110.
110. I'll give you 10 back. I think I had 10.
160. Okay, dude. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's every mark. You can
What?
pull it out.
That's nice too.
It is.
I don't know anything about. Is this? This isn't a Warner Brothers board though, is it?
No.
Okay, it
No.
looks kind of like it was when I saw the picture. Let me see this.
But it's full, you know, the full
That's such a
track
cool.
top decking.
It's a cool.
I've had that
board.
a while.
Did you ever ride this
I
board?
did.
You did?
Yeah.
Because it looks like I could ride this.
Yeah.
Like it's big enough. Like, I mean, I can ride a shortboard, but haven't surfed that much lately. How much you want the same for this, right? Or 180?
I think that was 140 on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
No, it's a 74.
Just 74. It's really good condition now.
Yeah, that I picked that up as a father and son project, and the son disappeared on me down to college. So now it's just
It runs though, right?
It does. I just got it.
Looks
going.
perfect.
It's so cool. It is. It's really, really nice.
Yep.
Let's do it, dude. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
That one I don't. I mean, you know.
I don't
Turd
know
Martin
anything
is.
about it.
Well,
to
Turd
be honest.
Martin was he's shaped for Hobie back in the
Okay.
day, and then he's shaped for Lightning Bolt.
Oh, I never even heard of that either.
Yeah. So I mean, he was the guy, all out in California.
So that's the kid. That's a West Coast board, then.
Yeah, it's West Coast. Yep.
So
Yeah.
with the Spectrum, the guy who shaped this one, he's still in business, but under Lucas
Yeah.
Surfboards. But he's in like, I think it's Augustine. I saw Florida, somewhere in Florida. Same
Yeah. I
area.
saw he was still down in Florida shaping.
But I still the guy Craig. I still talk to him. Like he does fiberglassing for boats now, which makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
But I'm actually gonna get. I have a moving bike, and I'm gonna wrap it in. If that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Take Thrasher board.
Oh my gosh!
and then I went to
Look at this one.
the wider ones.
So you still skate though, or not really? Hurts more. Even from like 20 to 28, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a real.
And I still snowboard, so it's just never had with them. It was, I think it was a day or two after a hurricane came through. We were so clean.
The biggest wave I surfed like within the last couple of years was in Outer Banks. We went there for a storm.
Yeah.
Almost died though.
Yeah, we go down.
Almost died.
I felt like it did.
We just got back in September from there. We usually go down for 2 weeks down there. To like the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like in the 90s. So I'm a product of the 80s. So the more color and flash.
The older the better.
The better.
Because we love, like, we do a lot of like vintage stuff.
Okay.
Like vintage clothes we sell and stuff like that. But it's, I mean, you can't find this stuff really around here.
Yeah.
So like once I saw the ad.
Yeah, I'm actually getting rid of that too. Come the spring too.
If you want to get rid of any of the other stuff too, let me know.
Those are actually mine.
When you were a kid?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and that's so crazy.
And I
There's-
reluctantly sold my first board in college because I needed beer money. But I had another board that I had bought.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have some cool stuff. It's right up our alley. So
I'll let you know if I let
the
anything else go.
skateboards.
Was this one. It was just like a department store.
Your first board.
And then I got,
Valterra.
I think that's an Alva. And I got that one. What's that?
You got a vintage Sony Alva?
Yeah, this one right here.
Wow.
Ooh.
You know what, dude? That stuff's worth a lot of money.
And then,
Even more than surfboards.
Pal
An
Peralta.
original.
and then, I think this is a Santa Cruz.
That's sick.
and they were set up.
Some of these were ones that you actually rode, though. Huh?
Yeah. All these 4 were the ones that I rode in high school.
Wow.
That's insane. This one is real.
Yeah, that's a Steve Caballero.
You know what, too? He's around. Not around here, but he's like so cool that you could probably get that signed by him.
Yeah.
Like, even just if he reached out, you would probably, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Not that you would even care, really, but that would just be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's actually a really good board.
It's actually in really good condition for how old it is.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised. Some of people just have ones that are even more ruined than that.
Yeah.
And they're still
Well, that's
worth
that one.
something.
I rode the shit out of that one. That's a Gator.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
That's what that is, right?
Yep.
That is so cool.
Wow.
So.
Are you drooling over the boards?
No, I just think it's really amazing
Well.
that a lot of people just don't have cool stuff. Or what I think is cool, I guess. Concerts are for you?
Yeah. All right. So, I take back everything I said.
That was the nicest
He
guy
was
ever.
literally the coolest guy ever.
Ever.
Literally, ever.
He did say his house got broken into, though, so it is a sketchy neighborhood somewhat. But people not going to break in there to steal skateboards, though.
No, because to people around here, it seems like a skateboard and a surfboard would not be very useful.
To be honest, that guy seems really nice, too, on the surface, but I wouldn't mess with that guy in the dead of night in his house.
No, I wouldn't mess with that guy in the dead of night. And he's so nice.
That
Literally.
was real. We actually ended up just getting both boards because they were such, like, they were listed as, I think, 175 and 160. Got both for 190 for 2 boards. Is that a lie? Yeah, that's a lie.
That's a total lie,
290,
boy.
290. My math ain't right.
I know that math wrong.
Math's so wrong.
Math wrong. Alright. Let me cut the tape, guys. This light.
Okay, we just got back. The guy's garage was like a museum-worthy collection of vintage surfboards and vintage skateboards and vintage some snowboards. Didn't even get into it, but I saw a couple there. So this is how I wrap the boards to bring them back, just in moving blankets. Do you want to grab this one?
I'll grab this guy.
Just make sure you. Ooh. Ooh.
Boy, you put it in there.
But all of his stuff was an
longer board.
I'm not making you do anything. And they're both really long, actually.
This one's longer.
His stuff was in extremely good condition. And why is that? Oh. And very clean. He liked his stuff cleanly. I guess we can just put them down here. Because I don't need the blankets in there.
Put it right here.
Yeah. I even went as far as to tape them. But this is why I love Craigslist, even after all the years of the abuse of situations that go wrong or people not buying stuff on Craigslist. You can still find the old school, like older people are going to use Craigslist. Like that guy just was 50, I think. And his main go-to to sell these boards was definitely Craigslist. Although he might have had them on Facebook too. I can burn them. Unless you want to just get it.
Yeah, I'll get it. I just want to get this.
Okay, so here's the board I went for. The Spectrum board. This is 100% a keeper. So, what he said, which I don't know for sure, is that this logo, I didn't know this, was actually from the 80s, and the circular Spectrum logo was from the 90s. And they did make boards in the 2000s, but I'm not sure if they changed the logo again.
But from my understanding of the logos, they go under the glass. I've seen it done before. And it is possible that they printed a whole bunch of these logos, put them on, and then at some point had the circular logos made because they wanted to change it up a bit, but still had these logos sitting around and could have used them later again. So you never really know in a factory like that where they could have just been like, here, put this logo on there. So it's possible that they used them, you know, in the 80s and 90s. But this has glassed in fins as well, where nowadays boards are made for the fins to come out, and you actually use a little fin key and unscrew the fins so you can put different fins for different conditions. Or even you can use, actually this one's glassed in too. So this board, didn't know the company myself, but the guy seemed to have known a lot about the Terry Martin guy who made the board. Just Add Water Surfboards. But I think that one of these boards is worth more than I paid for both of them, and that I can say almost with complete confidence, because I think that there's a possibility that the Spectrum board in the condition that it's in is worth upwards of $800 to $1,000. I think at least 5.
Someone from China, Wuhan, Hubei, China, is calling me. How crazy is that?
You should answer it.
No, not a chance.
Alright, so here's the 2 boards. Gonna do a little photo shoot / probably do some nicer shots tomorrow to add to this video. Really stoked about these boards, and I do think, again, like with the skateboard stuff, the perceived value of surfboards by a lot of a lot of people, not collectors. If you collect the surfboards, you know the value. But by people in general, is that they're not worth all that much. But I could tell you right now, there's someone out there like me, or like my dad, or like the owner or his son of the original brand, that would pay a lot of money for that Spectrum board. Maybe even the Shaper. Who knows if he even has any. But so yeah, getting into subjects here that I'm really into with the skateboards and the surfboards. So I'm probably going to try and stay on this and keep getting them, as many as I can. So I don't know if it's just been luck lately with this stuff or destiny. Fate.
I'd call it fate.
Probably not fate, but I definitely think sticking to things that you know more about than trying to get crazy with things you don't know anything about is probably a smart choice. But I do need to do some research on this. He did say that he wrote it before, and actually the way that the track pads are on here, one here and one here, you don't even really need to put wax on it. So, Just Add Water Surfboards. Wow. The yellow and the fact that the dings are so few. There's a ding there, a little couple. The condition of these boards, though, is mint. Near mint. He even has a yellow leash with it. Even just the way that the fin box, the leash box was installed is different than now. But I did want to say that I think I said it in the last video when I was talking about this originally, but these boards are made entirely by hand, whereas today many, if not mostly all, of the big surf companies are making them on a machine, and they are touched by hand after, but the shapes are being cut out by a machine and a computer, whereas back in the day the shapes were cut out and sanded entirely by hand. I mean, you can't do it all by machine anyway. There's a lot of people touching the boards still now, but these were all crafted entirely by hand at one point. These two boards included. I also wanted to point out, what was I going to say? I did want to point out though that the guy Craig Bobbitt, who started this company, and which was started as a surf shop and what you would call a mom and pop operation. It wasn't funded by a big company or a parent company at all. It was just Craig and his family. But he was one of the founding fathers of surfing on the East Coast for making as many boards as he did. And the West Coast, it was jumping off way before it was over here. So Florida, and he used to fill an RV with Spectrum surfboards, and he would drive it up the East Coast and go to all the shops that he could hit, the surf shops along the way, and that's how he would sell his boards directly to the stores. And I also got a picture off of Instagram today of Craig at a surfing trade show, looked like in the early 90s, and his setup was so elaborate. I'll put the picture in right here so you guys can see it, but he had so many boards and so many different designs. And another cool thing too is it's just a part of history that's never going to happen again, because when this was all happening, surfing started becoming more of a real sport, and surfers from Florida, and specifically that area, I think that Kelly Slater, who is known as like the world's greatest surfer, is actually from Cocoa Beach, which is about, I don't know, 12 miles down the road from where Spectrum was. Once surfboard magazines were coming out, there was actually ads being run of surfers doing some of the first aerial tricks, which are like airs out of the waves and then back in, and they were riding Spectrum surfboards. So it's really cool, part of surfing history. I'm sure there was other companies that had the same thing going on, but really, really cool. Lots of history. One more quick thing too. So at one point in time, Spectrum Surfboards, under the leadership of Craig Bobbitt again, was the #1 buyer of Clark foam blank boards, I believe, in the world, which means that they were at one point in time, I guess, producing the most surfboards out of anyone else, if that makes sense, or they were just the #1 buyer of the biggest surfboard blank company, and maybe other companies were buying from multiple sources, which could make sense too. But that's a big deal. Clark Foam went out of business due to, I think, the environmental standards of the company, but and that took a big hit because the blanks from Clark Foam were actually very cheap compared to other companies. So it took a big hit, I think, on the industry, and they started using alternative material to make surfboards. But I don't know if you can even see. No, yeah, there it is. It's right there on the front. Wow. But there's the company. So they even put the logo on there because it was such a big deal. I don't know what this means exactly. Someone's phone number, I guess. John Lucas's phone number, maybe. 610, that's a Pennsylvania code, area code. Alright, we'll see you guys tomorrow. But I will say, this really exciting for me. Very joyous moment getting these boards. And I will say that not too many things in life are going to get you as excited as doing the things that you love. And to be able to make money doing it is a plus, plus, plus. So, stoked. See you guys tomorrow. Okay, so yesterday, this is what I picked up from Lowe's. It is a carpet, outdoor carpeting, basically. Green turf carpeting. but I'm going to show you guys why I bought it. And the reasoning for getting it and why I think it's a good thing to have. So, it's a fresh green carpet, indoor, outdoor. Mostly people use it for turf, I guess, in their yards or whatever. But look how good that looks. So, there it is. You can just roll it out. And then, hold on. This is what I got it for. So say I want to take a picture like this, I can just lay the skateboard down. This has a little glare because it has a wrapper on it, which is a good thing. But, oh wow. The pictures though, for eBay and whatnot, are just so much crispier. So that's why I got it. For bigger things. Skateboards, even for t-shirts and clothing too. Actually, I probably should have just gotten 3 feet, but I'm going to try and go back and get the blue carpet too. If they have it at Lowe's. They didn't have it at that one, but maybe another one nearby. I'll probably get 3 feet. So this was like 2 feet 6 inches, I think he said. So 3 feet would be like this big, and that's probably what I needed. But this is nice, really nice. Alright, so funniest part is I got this green backdrop because I thought, oh, this will be perfect, way big enough for any items I'm about to post. And then I went and bought these 2 surfboards last night after I got it, and turns out these boards are like 7 feet and they don't really even fit. So I should have just gone 12 by 3. Either way, it looks really cool on the backdrop anyway. So, just with a little bit of lighting, I'm still going to get some nice photos out of this. And I can take it long ways like this and then just crop in. But, found out a little bit more information about Terry Martin. He was a really famous surfboard shaper out of California. He shaped for the company Hobie for many years. And according to the internet, I don't know how true this could possibly be, but Terry Martin shaped, they say, over 80,000 surfboards in his life. He used to do 10 a day. And according to the article I was reading, they called him the Machine because he would shape so many boards so fast at such good quality. I sent a picture of this to my friend B. Colt because he's really interested in vintage stuff like this too. And he said that his cousin knows a little bit about these surfboards, and if it's not signed on the stringer, so there's a stringer in surfboards, which is a wood piece in the very middle. You can see that line that holds the board and makes it stronger together, and then the 2 pieces of fiberglass are actually attached to the stringer as one piece. But if it's not signed by him, Terry Martin, on the stringer, that it might have just been one of his shapes that he came up with, but he didn't personally shape it. So that could be the case for this board. Probably be worth more if he personally shaped it, but in the condition that it's in, and the fact that it's one of his boards, and it's yellow and retro and so clean, I still think it's worth a lot of money. So, freaking righteous. About to just get some little like glory shots of these boards to just add into the edit. But wow, these are cool.
We Gucci.
I just wanted to end off the video showing these boards in all their glory. I did want to just add one last thing. I don't think I said it before, but this company here, Clark Foam, was the #1 supplier of foam blanks up until I think 2005. And they supplied 90% of all the surfboard blanks for every single company in the whole country. They had so much pressure because of the chemicals they were using by the EPA and shut down. And basically, they shut down overnight. They didn't warn anyone, so it threw a curveball in the industry, and surfboards went from like $300-400 to like $800 in like a week. So if you see that Clark Foam logo, you know it's old. Well, 2005 or older, but this board's from the 80s. I think that was kind of a unique thing because Clark Foam had a full monopoly on surfboard blanks until they went out of business. So then they started making different materials to make boards. But yeah, super stoked about our buys that we got. And I just wanted to say, you will be happier if you choose to pick items that you're interested in and speak to you than to just pick items that you have no connection to. It's always fun to pick up some things that relate to your own life and give you joy. I was like so exhilarated last night when I got these boards. Still am. But keep picking, everyone, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
This gimble's so
Dude, that
heavy.
thing's so awkward to just use. Landis for president.